Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to do another sewing tutorial for you. This time we're going to be making a simple doll sweatshirt, and we have our first male model for a video. This is an Ever After High boy. You'll have to excuse his lack of face. He's being prepped for a repaint. But as always, I'll show you how to customize the pattern with your own doll's measurements so you can choose whoever you like. On that point, the first thing to do is to measure our poor faceless boy here. Quick question though, before we get started. Do you guys like that I always demonstrate measurements? I'm a little worried that it is getting too repetitive for returning viewers, so please let me know whether I should continue with it or not in the comments down below. That being said, we are going to do it as usual in this video. So I've got my tape measure here, and we're going to begin with a neck circumference measurement. I'll just wrap it around his neck until it meets in the back, and that gives me 5.5 centimeters. Then I'm going to measure the distance from the base of his neck to his shoulder. Now with female dolls, I would usually measure to the shoulder joint here, but since he has quite wide upper arms, I'm going to measure to about the midpoint of his upper arm here, which gives me 2 centimeters. Next, we want the circumference from the thickest part of the arm, so wrapping the tape measure around again, that gives me 7 centimeters. Now, usually this measurement wouldn't be so far up the arm, but since this is a male doll, I have to take this much thicker shoulder ball joint into account. Now we want the length of the arm, so I'll measure all the way from shoulder to wrist, which gives me 9 centimeters. And then while we are at the wrist, I'll go ahead and get another circumference measurement there too, which is 3 centimeters. Now we're going to measure his chest circumference, 13.5 centimeters for me. His hip circumference, 10.5 centimeters for me. And finally, the length of his torso. So from the base of his neck to wherever you want the waistband of your sweatshirt to land. And I have 8 centimeters. And that is all of our measurements done. Time to convert them into a pattern. First off, what you'll need to do is take all of the circumference measurements, excluding the wrist and hips, e.g. neck, chest, and upper arm, and divide them by 2. This is because we're going to be drawing out the front of our sweatshirt first, so we only need half of those 3 measurements. I have got myself paper, pencil, and a ruler for this, and I'll start by measuring and drawing a horizontal line the same length as our halved neck circumference measurement. So I will have 5.5 divided by 2, which gives me 2.75 centimeters. Now that we have our 2.75 centimeter line drawn, I'm going to go ahead and sketch a shallow curve between the same points. And this will be our neckline. Next, I'll measure a very gently sloped diagonal line down from the edge of our neckline. And we want this line to be equal to our shoulder measurement, which for me was 2 centimeters. Repeat for both sides of the neckline. And we have now reached the sleeve hole. So for this, I'm going to draw a vertical line down from the end of my shoulder measurement. And we want this new line to be the same length as our halved upper arm circumference measurement. My full upper arm circumference measurement was 7 centimeters, so again I'll divide that by 2, making my vertical line 3.5 centimeters long. Now we need our halved chest circumference. For me, that would be 6.75 centimeters. So we want to make sure that the distance between the ends of our two sleeve hole lines is the same as that half chest measurement. As you can see, this is already pretty accurate to 6.75 centimeters, and that's because we took our shoulder measurement a little beyond the joint. So now we're just going to sketch these sleeve holes into a very gentle curve. If you're making this for a female doll, or just a doll with less bulky arms in general, your half chest measurement would generally be wider than the shoulder measurement, so in that case, you would slope your sleeve hole curves out at the bottom like a little ski slope to make the distance between them equal to that wider half chest measurement. You can see a good example of this in my hoodie pattern video. Next up, you want your torso length measurement. Mine was 8 centimeters, so I'll measure vertically down from the neckline. Make a mark at 8 centimeters. Then on this mark, I'm going to draw a 6.75 centimeter line, which is equal to my halved chest measurement. You might be wondering why not the hip measurement, but I'll get to that later. You want to make sure that the very center of this measurement is directly in line with the very center of your neckline, just so that your pattern will be nice and symmetrical both sides. Then we'll just join them up. Erase any lines we don't need. And now we have the most important pattern piece finished. Next we have the sleeves. For this, start with a vertical line the same length as your full upper arm measurement. Not halved this time because each sleeve is one piece, not two. So in total that was 7 centimeters for me. Then, starting from the center of that line, measure a horizontal line the same length as your arm was, 9 centimeters for me. Then at the other end of your horizontal line, draw another vertical line for your wrist. Now, my wrist measurement was 3 centimeters. However, I want these sleeves to be a bit more baggy than that, so I'm going to round it up and make this line 4 centimeters long instead, making sure that the center of it is in line with my horizontal line. Now we join the dots, and we have the start of a sleeve. However, the top of the sleeve needs to be curved so that it slots nicely into our curved sleeve hole. So we're going to take that same halved upper arm measurement that we used for our sleeve hole, 3.5 centimeters for me, and measure that same distance down from the top of this sleeve that we've already got. And make a mark. Do the same on both ends. And then sketch a kind of bell curve that extends up from our mark, skims the flat top of our sleeve, and then slopes back down to that same mark on the opposite side. And now we have our sleeve pattern. Now, you might be wondering why we took that sleeve pattern if we were just going to make the bottom hem of our sweater the same as the chest. Well, we're going to use that measurement for our waistband. So we'll draw a narrow rectangle the same length as our hip circumference. Mine was 10.5, and twice as wide as you want your waistband to be in the end. I want my waistband to end up about 1 centimeter wide, so I'm going to make my rectangle 2 centimeters wide. Next, since this is a sweatshirt, I want cuffs as well, and it's the same process for these, only you'll want your rectangle to be the length of your full wrist measurement, 3.5 centimeters for me. We also want a collar for this, and this rectangle will be our full neck circumference, which was 5 centimeters. And I don't want it as wide as our waistband or cuffs, so I'm only going to make it 1 centimeter wide, so that it'll end up being about 0.5 centimeter in the end. That is all our pattern pieces done, and now all we have to do is transfer them onto our chosen fabric. I have some red jersey here that I recycled from a pyjama top, and this is what I'm going to use for the front, back and sleeves of my sweater. For the cuffs, the waistband and the neckband, I have removed this ribbed material from an old t-shirt, and I think that will make it look more authentic. I'll just draw around my pattern pieces, remembering to flip my back panel pieces halfway so that they are mirrored, and to trace the sleeves twice, making sure that when I place them on the fabric, the direction of stretch is out to the sides. You'll also have noticed that I haven't mentioned a seam allowance until now, and that's because I prefer to only add the seam allowance as I'm cutting my pattern pieces out. So make sure to leave some adequate space between the tracings for that. Then I cut them out, leaving about 1/2 centimetre of blank space for a seam allowance around the edges. Now we can finally move on to sewing. First port of call will be to place the front and back panels good side to good side, lining them up along the raw edge of our shoulder seam. Then I will back stitch all the way along from the edge of the neckline to the edge of the sleeve hole, attaching the front and back panels together. Next we have our neck piece. I'm going to quickly fold down the seam allowances on the short ends, securing them into place with some fabric glue. And since the ends will be lining up with the edge of our two back panels, I'm also going to fabric glue down the seam allowance on those. Then we'll fold our neckband in half lengthways, which is why I made it double the width I wanted, and place it good side to good side with one of my back panels so that all three raw edges are lined up. I'm going to attach them with a zigzag stitch to maintain the stretch. You can see a basic demo of a zigzag stitch in an unlisted playlist on my channel. Now that I have sewn all the way along with my zigzag, I can flip the collar right side out, and as you can see, it's nice and neat. Now I'm going to work on the sleeves. I'm going to start by folding my little cuff piece lengthways like I did with the neckline. And you'll remember that we made the cuff end of our sleeve piece a bit longer than the length of the wrist circumference. So we'll have to stretch the cuff as we are sewing so that it reaches all the way across. I've lined up my raw edges and I'm just going to do a zigzag stitch all the way along again. Now we can attach the sleeves to the bodice pieces. The sleeve piece is going to basically slot in here. However, we're going to place it good side to good side so it's facing the opposite way. Line up the raw edges. Then I just back stitch all the way up to the shoulder. Turning the sleeve piece as I go to keep my raw edges lined up, and then all the way down the opposite side. As you can see, I'm sewing on top of the traced line, which is exactly why I like to only add my seam allowance when I cut out my fabric. That's our first sleeve done. As you can see, we basically sewed from the armpit to the shoulder to the other armpit. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. When that's done, I can go in and cut some
very tiny slits carefully into my seam allowance. Only going into the seam allowance, of course. Don't cut through your own stitches. And this will release some tension in the fabric and make the seam lay nice and neatly. Once we have both of our sleeves attached, we basically fold our sweater so that it's inside out. So the sleeves will be folded lengthwise. And then backstitch all the way from the ends of your cuffs to the armpit. Once you get to the armpit, just continue round at a right angle and backstitch all the way down to the bottom hem. So with both sleeves sewn and turned inside out, or right side out I should say, all we have left to do is adding the waistband. And if you're doing the back closure, also some Velcro, but we'll get to that in a moment. Just like with the neck piece, I am going to fold in the seam allowance on the short sides of my waistband piece, securing with some fabric glue. Then once done, I will fold my waistband piece up lengthways. Then, just like with the cuffs, I have lined up the raw edges and I'm going to attach them by zigzag stitching all the way along, stretching out the waistband as I go again, because as you can see, it is intentionally shorter than the width of the sweater. Now that my waistband is on, you can see we have some nice gathering here, which is why I made the waistband less wide than the sweater itself. And now all that's left to do is to sew our Velcro onto the overlap at the back. And with that, we are all done. A nice, neat little sweater for your dolls. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, I would very much appreciate a like, and if you'd like to see more, maybe even a subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!